Imagine waking up in a hospital bed with no idea who you are, and then learning, years later, that your mind was shattered not by illness, but by a government experiment you never agreed to. Ever hear about MK Ultra and think, oh, that old CIA acid trip experiment? Maybe you know the basics. Mind control, LSD, rogue scientists in lab coats. But what if I told you that's just the dime store version, and the real story is stranger, darker, and a lot less resolved than you think? By the end of this video, you'll know what really happened, what didn't, and why MK Ultra still matters today. Let's rewind to the early 1950s. The Cold War is in full paranoid bloom, and the CIA is desperate to gain an advantage over the Soviets. Rumors swirl that enemy spies have mind-warping techniques. In response, the CIA launches Project MK Ultra, essentially a reckless chemistry experiment with a black budget. The mission? Find a way to control minds, or at least unlock them. Doctors, psychologists, and even street criminals get drafted in. Some agents even dose their own colleagues. Across America and beyond, the CIA runs a web of bizarre, illegal experiments on unsuspecting human test subjects. Most people think MK Ultra was just a secret CIA project that failed, got exposed, and ended for good by the mid-1970s after the Church Committee aired its dirty laundry. Officially case closed. But that's not the real story. First, what we did learn. The program ran from 1953 to at least 1973. LSD was the drug of choice, but the CIA tried everything from hypnosis to electroshock to sensory deprivation. Many of the test subjects were never informed. That's right, folks. The highest levels of government signed off on dosing random Americans with hallucinogens without their consent. Some stories are legendary. In November 1953, CIA scientist Frank Olson fell 13 floors from a New York hotel room. For decades, the official story was simple: suicide after a psychological crisis. Only in the 1970s did his family learn from declassified files that Olson had been secretly dosed with LSD by his CIA colleagues 9 days earlier. MK Ultra operated through dozens of front organizations, from universities to psychiatric hospitals. Grants were laundered through layers of bureaucracy, with many researchers unaware that Project Subproject 23 was actually run by spies, not scientists. Even the government admits much of the evidence was deliberately destroyed by the CIA in 1973, 2 years before Congress started investigating after Watergate. Thousands of documents vanished. One of the most disturbing examples, Scottish-born psychiatrist Dr. Euan Cameron at the Allen Memorial Institute in Montreal. Backed by CIA money funneled through a front, he put patients into drug-induced comas, blasted them with massive electroshocks far beyond normal therapeutic levels, and then bombarded them with repeated recorded messages in a process he called psychic driving. The result? Many lost years of memory, basic life skills, even recognition of their own families. Some victims later won compensation from both the US and Canadian governments. So, what did MK Ultra achieve? Publicly, not much. Most official statements say it failed. No magic mind control serum, no Jason-born operatives manufactured in a lab. But that's not the takeaway you think it is. The real legacy is far more troubling. MK Ultra pioneered enhanced interrogation techniques, what we call torture techniques, later exported to places like Guantanamo Bay and Abu Ghraib. It also rewrote the boundaries of what was acceptable in the name of national security. In the 1950s, the CIA's logic was, if science was advancing, we should try everything, no matter the ethical cost. And once the lid was blown off, very few of those involved faced consequences. Many quietly continued their careers. Some even became consultants for new psychological operations and military research. MK Ultra didn't just fail and end. pieces of it slithered on, buried in classified projects, shaping modern interrogation, psychological ops, and even government secrecy. The Senate hearings uncovered a fraction, but most details were buried, lost, or shredded. And every few years, new files are uncovered, proving the story isn't finished. Why does any of this matter now? Because the blueprint for unchecked secrecy, questionable science, and blurred moral lines didn't die with MKUltra. If anything, it became standard operating procedure. The next time you hear about national security justifying extreme measures, remember, the program is over, isn't always the whole truth. Tell me in the comments what surprised you the most about this story, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. This is Matthias from Spinofacts. Thanks for watching. And remember, the world is stranger, deeper, and more connected than it appears. Until the next hidden truth.